Right, so welcome to this tutorial, which is going to be on how to create a web form that will insert a new record into a table in a MySQL database. Now I'm going to use PHP and SQL, obviously. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start with two pages I've already created. I've got one called New Blog, on which is going to be, there'll be a form which you fill out, and when you submit it, it will go to the other page, which I've called Enter New Blog, and that's where the SQL query will run that inserts the record. Now, both of these have the same database connection string here. I'm using an includes file. If you don't remember, if you don't know how to do that, or you're not sure, have a look at my previous tutorials. I think number 10 deals with includes files. So you have a look at some of those and then come back. Otherwise, continue on. So I'm just going to start with the new blog page, and just to save time, I'll go to the design view and we'll just add a little thing like add new article. And what are we going to have? We need to have, first of all, it's a form. So before I do anything else, I need to insert a form. There it is there. And down the bottom here, the action, I'm going to send that to my other page called enter new blog.php, and the method should be post. Right, so now I'll just click inside the form, and the first thing we have is the headline. Now I'm just going to go shift enter just to drop down one line. So when I insert a text field, it'll be directly below it. Now the ID for this I'm going to call headline. Now this actually matches the data in the table, so I do actually have a column there called headline in my table. So I'll click OK, and there it is there. I might just make that a bit wider, say 80, and you'll notice actually here that headline that I typed in has now come in here as the ID for it. So enter, and the next thing I'll have is the article, and again I'll just go shift enter to add a line break. I'll add a text field, and I'm going to call this one article. Again, this matches what's in my table. This text field though, actually I'm going to make it nice and wide. I'm going to make it multi-line and give it about 6 lines. Okay, this should be nice and big. Enter again, and the last thing I'll add will be the author. Shift enter again to add a line break, new text field, give it an ID, and OK, and I might just change the width of that as well to 80. Right. So, can't forget a submit button. So at the top here, there's submit, and I've called that submit. Okay. So now I have a form with 3 text fields. I'm going to complete that information. When I click on submit, it is going to send us to my other page. So I'll save that and go to my second page, enter new blog. Now, what we need to do is, at the top here, I'll clear a line or two. I need to grab the information as it is posted across from the previous page and assign it to a variable, and then I will run these SQL queries. So the first thing I'll do is create these variables. So the first one I think was headline. Remember, each variable must begin with a $sign. It's coming from the post array, so $_post. Then in square brackets, put an apostrophe, and then the ID that you assigned to the text field, which I called my first one headline. The next one I called article, so $article. There's my post array, and in the square brackets inside the apostrophes I have article. And the last one was author, so $author equals, there's my post array, inside square brackets, apostrophe, author, and notice each line has been entered with a semicolon. So that's just processing the data as it comes through and assigning it to a variable. Right, so now what I want to do is create the query, the SQL query that will actually insert the record. So I'm just going to call mine, put it into a variable, and then I'll run that. So I'm going to call it enter underscore SQL equals, and then in speech marks I'm going to have insert into then the name of the table, which in my case was news, and then in brackets the stuff that we're inserting is the headline, the article, the author, and also the date, because there are 4 bits of information in this table. The values that we're inserting are, and now I'm going to put each variable with an apostrophe around it, so apostrophe, then $, headline. Notice that that matches the first bit of information from the other bracket, so the next one now is going to be article, so comma, then an apostrophe is $, article, comma, an apostrophe again, and there's author again with apostrophes around it. Now after the next comma, the date, we're actually going to use a function here which is current date, CURDATE, and then just empty brackets like that. Now that grabs the current date, and then what I need to do now is close this bracket here which the values are in, so I need to then just add another closed bracket and then close the speech marks because that's the end of that query, and then as always end my line with a semicolon. So that's the query we're going to run. Then to run it I'll go enter underscore query, and that's where we use the PHP command MySQL query, and in brackets the query that we're running is the one that we stuck into this variable enter underscore SQL, and if it fails we'll just die and display the error. Okay, so that little or die stuff is optional. I like to put it in, but totally up to you. So what that should do now is that should run that query. Now just down the bottom I'll put a little confirmed thing that says I don't know, new article has been entered, and I guess it's probably worth putting a link to the list of articles to make sure it's there. So I'll just duck out to the design view for a second. Where are we? Enter. I'll just add here all articles, and I'll just link to it. So I'll link to my page called articles. So that's just a page I've created in a previous tutorial. Again, you're welcome to go back and have a look at that. If you don't want to, you can always just go into your database and have a look to see if a new row has been entered to the table. Anyway, I'm going to save this. So I've got my new blog and my enter new blog. So if I now upload those, here we go. And what we'll do is we will just run, where are we, new blog. So I'm just going to test this. Where are we? And it'll be interesting to see how long this takes. We will run it and double check that's all working. Alright, so magically I paused that because it took forever. Magically it's working again. So here we are on the new blog page, and if I just throw something in here like, you know, here we are testing again, and my article is, here is my fantastic article, I'm the author. If I submit this, all going well, new article has been entered, that's good, that's our confirmation text. If I click on my link now, which takes me to that other page of all my articles, there's the title, here we are testing again, by my author. If I drive into it, there it is, here is my fantastic article. I know it's ugly, it's unformatted, but you can see now that form has successfully entered a new article. So if I just go back to Dreamweaver briefly, what we did, remember, was we had a form that had an action of enter new blog. It took it to another page, it posted the information. Each of these text fields has an ID, so headline, article and author. when the information gets to the new page, that the headline, article and author was all posted. We've assigned each bit of information to its own variable, and then we've inserted that information into the database table by using this SQL statement here. So there you have it.